Good afternoon, students. Today's class, I would like to revise geography section. The first chapter, the Earth in the solar system. So, dear students, we all of you already learned about the solar system. That means, in a brief way, a little bit information about it. See, in the sky, there are so many the shining objects. There are different planets, even the moon also, sun also. And there are the different shining objects, really especially during night time we used to observe, and this we used to call as a celestial bodies. Celestial bodies, dear students. Are you getting now? See here, in these celestial bodies, some of the bodies are very big and hot. Some of the celestial bodies are big and hot. They are made up of gases. They are made up of gases. They have their own light. They have their own heat and light also. See, which they emit in large amounts. And these celestial bodies are used to called as a stars. Even dear students, the sun also one of the star. The sun also, which is actually the head of our solar system. So because of sun only, we used to call it solar system. Sun also one of the star. Then there are planets. See, the planets are objects which are revolves around the sun, and the same time the planets are revolves and their own axis also. There is the two movements. So the planets are revolves around the sun and its own axis also. And those objects we used to call as planets. So please keep in your mind, these planets, they do not have their own heat and light. So usually in a solar system, the planets, they are lit by the light of the stars, especially sun in the solar system. The planets are receiving a light and heat from the sun. And there are some of the objects which are actually revolves around the planets, and those celestial bodies are used to called as a satellites. So there are natural satellites and even human made satellites also there. See, the planet word is there no. Actually, this word is derived from the Greek word planetai. The Greek word planetai. That means wanderers. So, even you all of you knows that where we are living, this planet, the Earth also one of the planet. And regarding Earth, I am going to continue after few sentences. See here, satellites are there, planets are there, and some of the other celestial, smallest bodies are there, such as meteoroids, asteroids, and so on. So forth. Now, a bit we can try to understand about the solar system. Dear students, the sun and 8 planets and satellites and some of the other celestial bodies such as are known as asteroids and meteoroids. So together we used to call as or all these form the solar system. We often call it a solar family. So in this solar family, the sun is a head. Please keep it in your mind. The sun is in the center of the solar system, and the sun is made up of extremely hot gases which we cannot imagine. The sun is provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. The sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the solar system. And none of the celestial bodies or none of the any other objects do not have heat and light in the solar system. The tremendous heat is not felt actually. Sir, you told extremely heat, hot. Why? Because no. So we are actually so far from the sun. Are you getting now? So we are so far. The sun is about 150 million kilometer away from the earth. ಸೂರ್ಯನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿಯಿಂದ ಸುಮಾರು 150 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ heat. Just you can imagine if suppose if we are nearest to the sun, whether can we imagine the existence of the life forms on the earth? It's not possible because we can't bear the highest temperature. Even some of the regions in a different part of the earth during the different seasons, especially during summer season, so even they can't bear that much of temperature. So it is the brief explanation about the sun. And next, dear students, planets. Already I told that there are 8 planets in our solar system. In order to distance from the sun, they are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. According to distance from the sun. See, dear students, all the planets of the solar system move around the sun in fixed paths. Their way is fixed, their path is fixed, and these paths are elongated, and these paths are called as orbits. ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಥ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Mercury is nearest to the sun. Mercury is nearest planet to the sun. Our earth is third nearest planet to the sun. Are you getting now? See here, it takes only about 88 days to complete one round along its orbit. To complete one round around the sun, the Mercury is going to take only about 88 days along with its orbit. And dear students, in the solar system, the Venus, actually we are considering as Earth's twin. Earth's twin ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು Venus ಅನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Why? Because now the size and shape are very much similar to that of the Earth. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೈಜ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಹ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ವೀನಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ಸ್ ಟ್ವಿನ್. ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅರ್ತ್? ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್ ಟು ದ ಸನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್. It is slightly flattened at the poles. The Earth actually it has the shape of the Earth. It is described as a geoid shape. Geoid means an Earth-like shape. It looks like an orange. See, dear students, one of the very much interesting fact that in the solar system, So only one planet which is supporting to the life, that is Earth. The conditions favorable to support life are probably found only on the earth. Then we cannot observe, or still today we cannot see any kind of existence of the life form in any other planet in our solar system. The earth is neither too hot nor too cold. It has water, air. See, water, air, these two, including the temperature or including the light, so are very much essential for our survival, for all living organisms. If there is no water, if there is no existence of the air, so the different or the totally the fauna can't survive. The air has life supporting gas like oxygen. So, because of all these reasons, dear students, the Earth we used to call as a unique planet in the solar system. Please keep it in your mind. So, because of all these significance, the Earth supporting life, the Earth has air, the Earth has oxygen, the Earth has water bodies, and the moderate temperature, even not too cold or not too hot also, and only the one planet which is support for life. So because of all these reasons, the earth is considered and we used to call as unique planet in the solar system. From the outer space, our earth appears blue color. So because we all of you knows that the maximum of the earth is covered, the earth surface, about 71% of the earth surface covered with the water. So that's what when we are observed from the space, the earth appears blue. So that's what we used to call earth as a blue planet also. Why? Because no, the two-thirds of surface of the earth is covered with the water. So therefore we used to call it as a blue planet also. I think you are actually thinking, sir, what about moon? See, dear students, it is really very interesting. The moon is there now. It is the one and only natural satellite of the earth. The only one satellite, natural satellite of the earth, that is called as a moon. See, its diameter is only one quarter that of the earth, the size of the moon. It is a so small one. It appears so big sometimes because it is nearer to our planet than other planets. So that's why sometimes it's a look so big also. So it is actually 3,84,400 kilometer away from us, from the earth. The distance between moon and earth is about 3,84,400 kilometers. That means, so it is one of the nearest celestial body. So dear students, the moon moves around the earth in about 27 days. To complete one round around the sun, the moon is taking about 27 days. So it takes exactly the same time to complete one spin also. As a result, dear students, so only one side of the moon is visible for us, especially on the earth. We can able to see only one side of the moon. The moon does not have conditions favorable for life. It has mountains, plains, and even the depressions on its surfaces. See, these cast shadows on the moon's surface that we can observe during full moon day. Then we can enjoy. So already I told some of the other small celestial bodies which we can observe in the solar system. Those are called as the asteroids. Apart from the star, planets, and satellites, there are numerous tiny bodies which we call as asteroids. See, actually, these asteroids are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Getting dear students? So, especially the asteroids are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. According to scientists, so these asteroids are parts of a planet which exploded many years back, according to scientists. Then what about meteorites? See, the small pieces of rocks which move around the sun, they are called as meteorites. Sometimes these meteorites come near the earth and tend to drop upon it. So during this process, due to friction with the air, they get heated up and burn. It causes a flash of light. It causes flash of light. Sometimes a meteor, without being completely burnt, falls on the earth and creates a hollow earth. So, this is all about, dear students, small information about our solar system. And also, I would like to tell another one thing that, see, our solar system is a part of the galaxy, which is called as actually Akasha Ganga. What is this galaxy? A galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars. Getting now, which is called actually Akasha Ganga. Now ಯಾವ ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಸಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕಾಶ ಗಂಗಾ ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಸಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. See, there are millions of such galaxies that makes the universe. And really, dear students, it is very difficult to imagine how big the universe is. Scientists are still trying to find out more and more about the universe. Just we learned only not even the single drop of the water on the ocean. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. So please keep it in your mind some of the important things whatever I explain, and please go through the text. Now I would like to explain about globe, latitudes and longitudes. See, please keep it in your mind. Globe is a true model of the earth. It is a model of the earth. It is not exactly the earth. The globe may be small or even the varied size, shape, anyhow, dear students. See here, I would like to tell about some of the important things, that is about some of the imaginary lines are drawn to understand and for study purpose and to make get useful. And those imaginary lines running on the globe divides it into two equal parts. Especially the line which is divided our earth into equal two parts, that used to call as a equator, which is one of the important latitude. See, the northern half of the earth is known as the northern hemisphere, and the below the equator the southern half is known as the southern hemisphere, and they are both equal halves. So therefore the equator is an imaginary circular line and is a very important reference point to locate places on the earth. It is about 0 degree. See, all parallel circles from the equator up to the poles are called parallels of latitudes. and we are measuring these latitudes in degrees. There are totally 90 plus 90 like that. So the equator represents the 0 degree latitude, and since the distance from the equator to either of the poles is one fourth of a circle around the earth, it will measure one fourth of 360 degrees, that is 90 degrees. Thus, 90 degrees north latitude marks the North Pole, and 90 degrees south latitude marks the South Pole. Are you getting, dear students? And also, all parallels north of the equator are called as north latitudes, and similarly, all parallels south of the equator are called south latitudes. See, dear students, the value of each latitude is therefore followed by either the word north or south, that we used to show N or S. Getting the dear students? So, here some of the important parallels of latitudes are there, such as Tropic of Cancer, 23 and half degree north in the northern hemisphere, and the same there is the Tropic of Capricorn, that is a 23 and half degree south in the southern hemisphere, and also, dear students, Arctic Circle at 66 and half degree north of the equator, and Antarctic Circle at 66 and half degree south of the equator. And also, dear students, North Pole 90 degree, and then South Pole again 90 degree. And already we know that equator, which is divided equally into halves, that is 0 degree. So these are the some of the important latitudes, such as equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, and Antarctic Circle. Then there we can see above North Pole and in the southern part South Pole. Got it now? Then, dear students, heat zones of the earth. So actually we are based on the receiving the rays of sun, the heat zone also, the area where directly the sun rays are received, especially from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. This zone used to called as a torrid zone. This zone used to called as a torrid zone. Then after, dear students, Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle. So that use compared to this zone little bit less, and that's what that used to called as a north temperate zone. And the same way, dear students, Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle. So that zone used to called as a south temperate zone. And the same Arctic Circle to North Pole, where very less amount of, very less, sometimes there is no sun rays also, that zone is called as a frigid zone, North frigid zone. And the same way Antarctic Circle to South Pole, that zone used to called as a frigid zone or South frigid zone. So please keep in your mind, torrid zone, north temperate zone, frigid north frigid zone, and south temperate zone and south frigid zone. So these are some of the important heat zones of the earth, dear students. Then I would like to tell about something. So there are lines which are actually equally running. Those who are called as longitudes or meridians. So this also actually we are counting in degrees only. There are again 180 plus 180, totally 360 degree meridians are there. Okay, so the one of the imaginary line which runs near, especially the British Royal Observatory in Greenwich, that used to called as that meridian used to called as a prime meridian. prime meridian or Greenwich meridian 0 degree. So especially these meridians are using to find out the time, to find out the respective areas time estimates. So already how we are counting the times that I explained in the previous class itself. So here actually the earth rotates 360-degree in about 24 hours, which means 15 degree an hour or 1 degree in 4 minutes. Getting now? So 1 hour ahead of Greenwich time, which means 1 p.m. But at 15 degree west of Greenwich, the time will be behind Greenwich time by 1 hour. That is, it will be 11 a.m. So there is a, so the difference when we are move ahead the Greenwich and when we are so behind the Greenwich when we are traveling, so there we can see the difference. Understood now? So even dear students, in India also we are following one of the standard meridian which is passes through actually Mirzapur near Uttar Pradesh state. So the standard meridian of India is 82 and half degree east. The 82 and half degree east is considered as the standard meridian of India. So some of the large countries have even more than one standard meridian or standard time also. For example, Russia, there are as many as 11 standard time zones. See, the earth has been divided into 24 time zones of 1 hour each, and each zone thus covers 15 degree of longitudes. So please go through the textbook, study carefully and try to understand. Even though if you are not getting, please before examination, please call and clear your doubt. Thank you. Have a nice day.